You are gonna edit this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, like what should I do? Should cross-legged? That's weird, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Woo! Just looked right into it.
Now I know what I'm putting other people through.
Is someone gonna interview you?
No.
Lucky.
This is sales and it's only temporary. Oh, somebody was walking by. Did you see that? Okay.
The last 2 years have been we've been having to reinvent the wheel so much. First we had the tornado, and after that it was all of a sudden we had to shift into, everybody had to go into their homes. We weren't quite sure how to handle it.
Maybe it was just the combination of one thing happening after the other. You start putting that all inside you, and you just don't really know what to do.
I'd say we were in a breaking news situation for the last 18 months to 2 years, just because of the state of the world.
It has been as challenging a time in this last year as I've ever seen in my 40 years. But at the same time, there's been some great stories.
As bad as things can be, they can also be so good. I feel like that's what keeps me going in this job, is knowing that at any given day we're going to cover something incredible, where people are just going to be doing really good things for other people.
The last 2 years have been we've been having to reinvent the wheel so much. First we had the tornado, and after that it was all of a sudden everybody had to go into their homes. We had to try this working remotely thing. We had to make sure too that everybody was comfortable, everybody was safe. It was this place that was my home for so long, and all of a sudden it's like, you can't go back into it. We weren't prepared the day Waverly happened, the day the flooding happened. We were not ready for it. We heard that there were people having to get onto roofs. Roads were flooded. In fact, we tried to get somewhere else besides Waverly at the time, and we couldn't. And any of the main highways you would take to get into Waverly, they were all blocked. Everybody was trying to get there, find their families, but they couldn't, and neither could we. We do cover a lot of the bad. In the bad, we definitely try to find something positive, something good, makes them smile. Just makes them take a second to think, you know, I've seen that guy out there before, but I've never asked them their story. I've never really thought about like why they do what they do.
After a COVID-19 exodus,
Oh my gosh. Good to see you guys.
that felt more like 40 years in the wilderness,
If you could perform a miracle like part the Red Sea for me.
it was back to the promised land
Much love, much love, much love.
for the man they call Soccer Moses.
Oh yeah. We're back, baby. We're back. We're back. Hey, you know what? Speaking of that, exile suck.
He isn't on Nashville SC's payroll,
Can we hug? Are we hugging? We're hugging. Bless you.
but at this point he might be more recognizable and approachable
Touch of your holy beard. Yeah.
than any player on the team.
What Soccer Moses embodies is about fellowship and about community and proximity.
Stephen Mason's ministry started when he bought tickets for the first ever Nashville SC game last year. He went viral for his sign, "Let my people goal." If the whole thing feels a little bit like a performance,
Oh yeah. Shanti, namaste. Oh yeah.
it's because Stephen Mason is used to the spotlight. He's also 1/4 of the Christian rock band Jars of Clay. That's what brought him to Nashville, and every once in a while takes him out of town to go back on the road.
Random rock and roll emergencies, we like to call them.
But it's been years since being a rock star was his day job. Lately, he's traded his band for a different kind of buzz.
Does that feel short enough up top?
Steven says when he noticed that the band was starting to slow down,
I kind of tapered off at the same time as I was getting licensed.
he knew he had to find a new passion.
Just a little bit of that.
So in the storage closet of a building owned by the band, he opened up the Handsomizer.
There we are.
And let's just say what they lack in space, they make up for in depth.
A lot of barbering is you know, making people feel comfortable, and you know, especially a lot of men are horrible at self-care. So this is like one of the rare opportunities where they just sit and.
But not even a prophet could have foreseen how great his barbershop's location would be. All he'll have to do is part Wedgwood Avenue traffic to get to the new Nashville SC Stadium.
When I start thinking about a year from now, I get giggly.
The funny thing is, few people know all three personas of Stephen Mason.
They're very segmented audiences, yeah, but the crossover is where the joy happens. Oh my gosh!
But the more you talk to him, you quickly realize
Yeah!
the commandments of his life are to make people happy.
Cool hair!
And that's the gospel truth.
Two in the middle. Good cross.
We certainly have to cover the bad stuff, but it's a nice balance. I think if I was covering the bad stuff all the time, after a while, I think that would kind of get to me. But just to have that balance of, just here's something else that somebody else tries to, you know, make people happy. Just make them smile for a second. Our job is really just to help make people aware that there is bad out there, but there's also plenty of good. It doesn't always have to be bad, you know, we can make it better.
Working over the past year or so has been really difficult. You roll up to interview somebody and you have no idea whether they have a deadly virus that, you know, you hear about every single day. You don't know if your job is going to put your health in jeopardy. My wife and I had a son just as the pandemic was starting. And so I'm going through this whole brand new experience being a new father, and nobody's allowed in the hospital. I'm barely allowed in the hospital. And it's just been really strange, you know, trying to protect myself and him at home, and all the while trying to do some stories. Finding beauty where there shouldn't be any and finding great stories where you wouldn't expect to find them is something that photojournalists try to do every single day. And that brings me to the Gallatin Flower Lady. The Flower Lady cultivates these wild flowers in this concrete parking lot between two buildings in Gallatin. That is not a place where you'd expect to find such a beautiful garden of fantastic colors and flowers. But this woman cultivates it. She gives it the love and attention that it needs, and those flowers just flourish out there.
Gardening is a form of art for Alicia Welburn. When cultivating a garden, you reap what you sow.
This is a pollinator garden. The first year, I didn't even have any birds.
Now butterflies, bees, and birds visit this sanctuary. While this place is beautiful, the garden isn't exactly peaceful.
No, not around here.
This lot in downtown Gallatin sat vacant for a half-century before it was filled with plants.
Well, the eyesore is gone.
The community is now enjoying the fruits of her labor.
So people have asked me if I want the concrete taken up, and I said no. I like the oxymoron of what this represents, how things just grow out of the cracks.
You want to help Miss Flower Lady?
Residents often stop by to ask about it as she volunteers.
There's another one, Jacob.
6-year-old Jacob Jocelyn helped pull some weeds.
Pull hard. Oh, got it!
It only took a few minutes of chatting to learn that Jacob's mom is sick, lung cancer. So one by one, the Gallatin Flower Lady picked a few stems for his mom as tears swelled.
When people need something the most, there they are. Just a simple bouquet. You want to take those to your mama?
Say yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell her how grateful we are for this.
We're very grateful.
It's moments like these that remind her why it's important to stop and smell the roses.
Thank you. God bless you.
That is the reason I do this.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I think we have a responsibility to tell the best stories possible. When somebody trusts us with their story, it's our responsibility to tell it as best we can. Putting the hope that you find in the world on display, even in the darkest of times, I think is really important because it shows that not everything is doom and gloom and that there are good things happening in the world.
At first, that was hard. I mean, it was crazy to transition to being at home all the time and not seeing everybody, but also pretty cool to know how quickly we could transition to being at home. We just adapted, I think, quicker than I would ever have imagined, even though I didn't really picture anything like this happening. I think it was more after about 6 months, I just miss everybody so much and just miss seeing everyone and miss seeing people's faces when we interviewed them. I mean, that was like really challenging.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, Zoom. I mean, I'm sick of it, right? You're sick of it. We're sick of it. But I hadn't even heard of Zoom before the pandemic. So all of a sudden, in like a day, we were all in meetings on it, and that's how we ended up doing interviews. And we still are in a lot of cases. It's helped us reach people when we couldn't be in the same room with them, so it's been really beneficial. We've also found kind of creative ways to use it.
I'll give you guys a quick look. Y'all wave at the people at home.
The teacher in this class, Harold, he sort of had to do half of the classroom on Zoom and half of them in person, which, as you can imagine, is kind of clunky. I mean, that's how this whole pandemic has been anyway. It's been clunky. So we just did some of our interviews in person, like the students were there, and then some of the interviews, Jason just sat down on the teacher's Zoom on his computer and then ask the questions that way.
In schools across the state for months on end, this is where learning didn't happen. For many kids, it was no classroom, no community.
How do you build community in a place if you can't be in that place with other people? Your place is at your kitchen table, you know, in front of a computer. Maybe your webcam's on, maybe it's not.
Which is why today at Glencliff High School,
if you want to go ahead and jump on your camera and wave,
is such a big deal.
Hey, good morning. Come on in and find your name.
It's been the job of Harold Burdett.
We are extremely proud.
And his co-workers with Gear Up at Metro Schools to foster that community using the one thing they've all experienced together.
We'll give you guys a quick look. Y'all wave at the people at home.
While apart.
Welcome everybody to release day for the Quarantine Diaries of Glencliff High School.
Each of the students here submitted work to describe how the coronavirus changed how they learn and live. And now it's time for show and tell.
2, 1, tear it open.
Inside is 30 pages filled with hopes and dreams.
And this is going to be the year that everything was going to be perfect.
It's so cold here lately, a winter of 14 months.
And even pain.
I also miss being able to occupy my mind and not lead myself into a dark hole.
There's been so much change this past year.
Estar más tiempo en casa y no poder salir.
Being at home for more time and not being able to go out to certain places.
Seeing it all together, all at once, can be a lot to take in.
Because I never thought that my image would show up on a book.
Tan feliz que me dieron ganas de llorar.
I feel very happy that I was feeling like I wanted to cry.
There have been a lot of challenges, but at Glencliff High, there's also been this.
I've learned that I can do a lot more than I think I can do, which is nice.
Obstacles overcome.
It's the first time I've ever been in a book, so I'm proud of myself.
And community.
We get to connect with these pieces.
Built.
I was finally able to at least see how I wasn't the only one going through everything alone.
I really did this.
They are lessons that Gear Up says will serve these students well now that they've returned. But they hope they'll serve them even better.
Bye, everyone.
Have a great day, Ms. Burdett.
Thank you, Hector.
Once they leave these halls again, this time for good.
This was a really important time to be a photographer. I'm really lucky, and I think everyone here feels the same way, that we got to record these events, as challenging as they were and heartbreaking as some of them were. I mean, I feel like that all the time. I've always felt that way, but this last year and a half in particular, it's historical. It's the only way to put it. So I'm just glad we got to be recording it, you know? And those moments are gonna be remembered for a really long time.
Sometimes I struggle with that whole thing, like, I don't watch the news anymore because it's so depressing. It is depressing, but at the same time, they're life lessons that people are living and that maybe you can learn from. Actually, it's kind of been overwhelming, especially with the Waverly thing. I really started doing some soul searching after that. I have 2 small children, and with the Waverly thing, some of those horror stories were just, that was really tough to take. Yeah. I think a lot of times with us in the news, we're always the ones listening, but we never get to talk about, what we're experiencing. So sometimes you internalize it and it can work on you, It's kind of like the yin and the yang, You get some of the really dark and horrible stories, and then you get this nice, good, positive feel when you meet people who are doing good in the world. During Hispanic Heritage Month is when the story was kind of presented to me. He's a guy who makes guitars by hand and doesn't do machinery, doesn't use computers. These are all techniques that he's learned from his family from generations ago.
Tanto tiempo disfrutamos.
But then to also add into the heritage part, music is something that Latinos and Hispanic cultures, it's just part of their life. So I kind of wanted to get into that part too,
Whether it's something simple like
experience some of the different strumming and the different guitars used for certain music. And he was really insightful about that, and I think it really added to the story.
Our family, we've been doing this for 93 years, so it's a labor of love and an art craft that is somewhat dying. No 2 of our guitars are alike. Everything is made by hand, and my techniques are what's called an old world luthier. These are the same ways that my grandfather and my dad built instruments. My grandfather and my great uncle started the business in 1928 in Torreon, Coahuila, Mexico. Then they brought the business to the States, to Los Angeles in 1948. I moved the business to Nashville in 2005. Anything in life worth achieving is rarely easy. The way we do it, well, it takes more time. You have to have skilled labor. Everything that we're building, our heart and soul goes into it. A piece of me goes with every one of these instruments. I take pride in what I do. I'm proud of carrying on this legacy that my father and my grandfather and great uncle worked so hard for. I always say my job is just not to screw up the amazing work that they've done. It's not a burden, but there is a sense of responsibility to work hard and honor that tradition. People have appreciated and loved the history and loved the tradition. It's given me the opportunity to show what I'm able to do as a builder, as a business person, our involvement in the community, all the different things that we're involved in. So yeah, I personally love that.
It's not easy for people to kind of open up and tell their life story to you. And when people do, I feel like it's very important that I make sure that I tell their story as best I can. Because, I'm honored that they felt comfortable enough to tell how they're feeling to me. You have to reciprocate that. You have to stay focused on what they told you and try to put it back out there the best way you can.
Facility to our mom donors.
We are in a temporary space for Evan. This is a big upgrade from our normal editing. We're down on the basement
with
no windows, very small space. Here I can spread out and make a mess of things if I need to.
It's super easy. I just dropped off
I am vaccinated. My wife right now has got cancer, and so we are really concerned about COVID. COVID is very easy to catch, and I'm really a pretty healthy person, and so it takes a lot to get me down. But this knocked me on my rear end, and I was really sick for about 3.5, 4 weeks. So I can kind of consider myself lucky. In fact, I consider myself lucky that I was no sicker than I got, but I'm telling you, I had a cough I couldn't get rid of for a month, and really didn't need to be around anybody for a month. This is my 40-plus year doing television news, and it has been as challenging a time in this last year with the health protocols and the kind of things that are going on around the country and right here in Nashville as I've ever seen in my 40 years. But at the same time, there's been some great stories that I've enjoyed doing. So that's really one of the best parts about this job. It's that I go out and meet people every day, and I like to tell folks that I meet you on your best day or your worst day. If I show up and it's not your best day, that still doesn't mean that we can't do a good job on your story. I think that we owe that to the people we do stories with, and we owe that, most importantly, to the people we do the stories for, which is folks at home watching Channel 5.
It is 8:01, so 4 more minutes.
In the early hours of the morning, most people are dreading their drive into work.
It's a really good start to the day to have somebody in a happy mood because I'm not a morning person.
And you just want everybody to be safe.
But for Megan Lester,
Here are my gloves, my jacket, my pants, my boots.
it can't come soon enough.
Having fun at your job, enjoying what you do.
Because when the lights come on and the traffic starts to slow,
All right, here we go.
it's her time
Good morning! You can't see me over some cars.
to shine.
Good morning, darling.
She seems to greet every car
You better put a smile on that face. Thank you.
with the same enthusiasm,
Hi, honey.
sometimes dancing her way through the day.
I like to pretend that I'm driving, and I usually get some good laughs on it. I do little dance moves. I enjoy myself while I'm out here.
She's only been directing traffic in front of Black Fox Elementary for 1 semester.
Good morning! It's always the same people, same cars. Good morning, darling.
But Megan has already amassed
Yes!
adoring fans.
It's really good. It's a really good start to the day to have somebody in a happy mood.
Good morning, sunshine.
Amazed at her kindness
She's efficient, she's friendly, she's always smiling, and I love that.
or in awe of her moves.
Waving her arms around, like doing this number, like signing the kids into school. I mean, she's doing everything, getting them excited.
But don't confuse her care as carelessness.
The reason I do that is to make sure that these drivers are aware that I'm here. They're aware that this is a school area.
When school's in session, they're only supposed to be going 15 miles an hour. But you can see what happens when she's not out here.
Slow down. Thank you.
And thank goodness she is. Because drivers may still dread
Good morning, darling.
Oh yeah, she's got a lot of spunk.
their eventual destination,
Come on out.
but they can't help but love the journey.
I absolutely adore my job. As long as you leave my area with a smile, a giggle, even a little smirk, I'm okay. I'm happy with it.
Just because of the state of the world, finding that hope in the terrible is more important than ever.
You have to take the punches with some of the bad things that happen, but then you're able to kind of move into some of the positive things that people out there doing good in the world, you know.
Especially in the last year and a half. I mean, through the pandemic, I feel like we've talked to some people on some pretty rough days in this last year, and their messages are so strong, and I love that so much.
Every single photographer is a good person, is somebody who wants to do a great job, who does that job as well as they can given the time they have to do it. And that I'm proud to call them friends.
I'll ask you the classic question. Is there anything else you want to say?
Can I have a raise? Mike, can I have a raise?